Okay, I want to give you some more information about updating training packages. So when something becomes superseded and there's an update. So this is a massive, over 1,000-page document. This is an IBSA document, and I've been mean and actually thrown it in there for you, but please don't panic. This YouTube is just going to cut to the summary of some of it. Once again, we're differentiating. Some people love to go deep and love to read and learn, and that's absolutely fantastic because this document will cover everything to do with Certificate 4 and everything to do with training and education. So for those of you that just want a bottom line, let's just end it at this YouTube presentation, okay? Just answer a couple of questions. This is an entry-level Certificate 4. So I've gone to about page 20, it's around 19 or 20. You can see there's 1,016 pages in this document. So changes to the qualification, Certificate 4 in training and assessment. Okay, so this is release 2, but it also talks about the superseded qualification, which was the TAA. I don't think it goes any deeper than that. There was a version before that, a BSZ, but what this does is it explains in writing the changes that were made, and if we just go down a page or two, you'll see that there's some mapping, which is a much easier way to look at it as well. So that was page 20, you can read. Now this is mapping, okay? So this is the first time that we've really modelled mapping to you. You'll be doing some mapping, but it'll look a little bit different within a unit of competency shortly. So these are all of the diploma mappings, so we'll go down till we find the Certificate 4. There we are. Changes made for the Certificate 4. So this is one of the units. Okay, that's one of the electives because that's a Certificate 3 level, contribute to assessment. That's actually one that we have as part of our training and assessment strategy. So the old one, see that's the first released version A, we're now operating off B, the current one. It says it's equivalent, okay? So the only difference was performance criterion 3.2 changed a term, use assessment tools to use assessment instruments. So, you know, this is semantics here, but they're being that thorough, they're mapping any single particular change. What's the equivalence here? So we've gone from the A version to the B in version 2, okay? So rules of evidence, range statement is to read. So they've actually changed the definition of rules of evidence. It's going to read valid, sufficient, authentic and current. So that's great. That's what we train to. We look at the current one anyway. Now the reason you'd even bother with a mapping like this is if you've been a trainer and you've developed all of your training resources on version 1 and suddenly, oh darn, it's gone to version 2 and you didn't click on training.gov.au for any updates, or I don't know, something's happened in the process, you've gone overseas for a couple of years. These types of mapping documents allow you to quickly go into your learning resources and make the changes and get it up to the correct versions. But it's also, you know, highly and largely the responsibility of the RTO to make sure that those updates are happening as well, and the lead assessors and trainers in the organisation you work for. So I just wanted to draw your attention to what happens with changes to training packages, and also to say that, you know, the second that you tick that notify, I better just show you that again because that's really important, whatever you're training in there. So remember that little notify me of changes bar? If we click on that, you know, you just register a new account and it'll ask you for your first name, last name, email, a password, and then that way it'll always email to that account that you nominate. Now you'll have about 6 months notice of a change, And then from the date that that change takes place, you've got 12 months to train out that old package. So that way it's fair to any of your current enrolments. Most RTOs at the time of enrolment with the terms and conditions document make it clear that, you know, from the time of enrolment to the time that you've submitted all your evidence, it really has to be done in a timely manner. Some have 3 months, 6 months. So, you know, you really need to look at your terms and conditions with the training organisation you're working for to see what sort of time frame the expectations and the requirements of the learners are there. You really wouldn't want to make it much more than 12 months, because just say there's a change to the training package, that's, you know, you can't actually have some training on an older version and be writing newer versions. But the bottom line is, from the time you get notified, it's about 18 months before you're training in the new package at the longest. At the earliest, it's probably 6 months from notification to release, and 6 months is a reasonable time to look at the mapping that they've provided you and make those necessary changes.